Let's get into more Atari news.
Why?
So, Atari VCS.
Sorry.
Game Stream Connect like never before. So really, like never before. Okay, it's hard to believe because this road's been gone down and up and over and sideways and failed and back up again.
All right, so what is this thing?
Atari that made like $1 million in one day.
It's this.
Okay.
It's a streaming console thing.
What?
This is the,
No, the Atari VCS that we've been talking about.
the one that you said that would fail.
That's gonna fail.
It's gonna fail hard.
It literally went on to Indiegogo this morning, and it's at $1.8 million.
What's your point? To launch a console, $1.8 million to launch a console.
Their goal was 100,000.
I guarantee you, this thing will fail. Remember the Ouya? You remember how much money the Ouya made when it went on the thing, right?
No, I did not.
The Ouya was considered a success before it came out, and then it died.
Well, no, yeah, it launched and it was the launch.
It's probably gonna be very similar.
That's the thing. With
No,
Ouya, the launch.
the Ouya launch was not a success. The campaign to fund it was a success. The day it came out, it was dead.
Well, no, what happened with that? Because that was because I always follow everything Android. What happened was about half a year after that was launched and released, the developers, what do you call it? Some of the people had left, and they couldn't keep up with the Android updates that were coming out, reprogramming their own OS, because there was a lot of major changes.
We got to get controversial here. What are you talking about?
It
didn't have any games coming out for it, dude. It has nothing to do with the Android OS.
Well, no, this is what
literally had like 10 games in a half a year.
Well, no,
it was an Android console. You can play any Android game on it.
So the idea was,
but there were no games showing up on their store. I've read the reports. They were not getting games playing on the system.
No,
it wasn't
I know.
like you could just immediately download them. They had to have a little bit of work just to pop up on the store. And people were like, "Why are we bothering? No one's buying the system. No one's buying the games." Like,
well, no, this is what happened though.
Away the minute it came out.
The reason why they weren't popular on the store, because the way Android Play Store works is, if you don't have the next version of Android, if you were like 2 or 3 versions behind at this point, the games won't show up because they're not playable on that version of Android. So, but they didn't have the staff because some of the people had left to rewrite the OS for a new update, and they couldn't get it out fast enough. And by the time they would get it out, the next update for Android would come out. So the games are still not showing up.
Yeah,
and this just kept on happening, and it buried them.
There's a handheld that's out, some kind of weird handheld with screen and stuff, and it's only got Lollipop.
With all of your
you can't update it.
So I'm on this
stuff that you always talk about, but no, that thing did.
Okay,
that's not what killed it.
Website.
He's on the website. Hold on.
I'm on this website that why Ouya failed. They said Ouya failed because of sales pitch videos at Minecraft and really cool looking UI, both which never made the final product. Shipping disasters, terrible Wi-Fi, terrible controller connectivity.
No sales.
Julie Herman.
GUI.
Yeah, she left there.
Oh, a person.
She left the building to kind of follow the development of it. User interface is horrible. I guess Julie never took responsibility and apologized to Kickstarter for backers for the crappy DHL shipping and crappy controllers. They're using crappy a lot in this sentence here. Fans fell off the CPU during the shipping.
Oh, Jesus.
Should have came unrooted right out of the box.
Well, nothing does that.
Didn't support a modding community. That all games are free to try, and they're tricking you basically so that not all the games are free. No Mario or exclusive anchor game. Or
thank you, Ben.
Last one is lack of updates. So that's 13 reasons why it failed.
But I was following the...
Thank you for giving that list, but it all comes down to one thing. It sold 58,000 copies. Consoles were shipped at launch and didn't sell through the entire... Didn't sell through the entire shipment. The highest selling game ever on it was 7,000 copies of Tower Fall. Nobody was making games for that thing. And also, hey, because I'm going to wrap this around to Atari. It had a successful Kickstarter fund of $8.5 million. $8.5 million Kickstarter, and it was dead in the water on release. So you can tell me all this stuff about how this thing got $1 million. Even if it beats $8.5 million, it doesn't mean it's going to do anything. I'm still standing by this thing's dead in the water.
Well, we're going to see once it launches. Now they got the funding. They can do this.
I don't think it's going to fail, but I don't think it's going to blast off into the market and be like super popular. Everyone wants to get it.
I think it's just going to be as good as the ones you buy at the store.
Yeah,
Yeah, because you need games for it. And who's going to support it if it comes out and sells maybe 500,000 copies in the first month? Nobody's going to go, oh, we should get our games on there. They're just going to stick to the other things. It needs to come out and sell gangbusters to get anybody's attention because they have all these other spots that have a real install base.
I don't.
It'll be a Steam box.
I don't really.
Well,
think,
yeah, that's what I was about to say.
I don't foresee this, like I said, being so uber popular. Everyone's gonna want it. I think it's gonna be one of those things you can find at GameStop or Staples in the box, like a Sega or an Atari.
Well, no, it's the hardware's not that. Though.
I understand.
No.
It's gonna be equivalent to that, or it's not gonna be so popular everyone wants it. It's they're
not going to lock it up in a case, I can tell you that.
You can go grab it if you like it.
Well, from what we saw about the hardware and the operating system that's going into this when they were first announcing it, if Bazinga just said, it's going to be a Steam box. They're going to be most likely running a version of Steam or linked to the Steam, OS in some way. So you're going to be able to download most Steam games most likely. So it's going to be...
Dude, do you really think this thing is going to run
TV.
Steam games? Are you really delusional? They'll run indie games, but do you really think they're going to run its Steam games?
Through the Steam cloud.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I got to throw this out there. All right, that's the Steam device that's been dead in the market for the longest time.
Yeah. That's because the app does it now.
Okay. If that's what it's going to be, I'm sorry. I'm siding on the grid now. Because if that's exactly what it's going to be, if Steam can't even market their product to work like that, how is Atari going to market their product to work like that?
Well, because people are going to buy off the nostalgia.
Well, Steam's product does work.
No one's buying it off the nostalgia. That's what I'm trying to tell you, mate.
Oh, no.
Stop! I mean, it's like that day when you were like, I want an Adventure remake. Adventure was a freaking dot moving around dots. It doesn't need a remake. Just make a new game and call it Adventure. This thing is dead in the water, and I can't wait to laugh about it because people, if Atari wanted to make money, they should just release a thing on Steam called Atari Retro Count Home. And you buy this thing for $10, and they just drop games for 99 cents that you can buy in this app. And you just play them in a virtual arcade setting.
The shell
Done.
Yeah, I know.
Tons of money.
Just a shell.
I just
pie in it.
Yeah. Well,
I just don't think if it's going to be a streaming device, I'm sorry. Take
virtual high five.
Keep the warning from Steam.
Steam
Link didn't work. How do you think this is going to
work?
work?
No. Yeah, Ben, I think you missed the point. It's not a streaming device. It's a low-end computer. It's it's a low-end gaming PC in the end.
It's not even going to be a low-end gaming PC. That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's going to be spec'd as bad as an Ouya.
Yeah, it's a low-end gaming PC for the most part built into this thing. So you can be able to download actual Steam games.
It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, 32 gigs of hard drive space, and it's got an R7 running it.
Yeah.
And it's spin off of an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Well,
I kind of like the controller though.
Everybody makes spin-off of
Xbox controllers.
Yeah.
You mean Sega Dreamcast?
Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah.
Dreamcast first.
No, it's very close to an Xbox.
It seems like there's more Xbox spin-off controllers than PlayStation, I think.
Yeah. Well, I won't lie. People are delusional because they're making all these copies of the Xbox controller, and yet the PlayStation controller is the one everybody's playing. 90 million people playing that thing.
Oh, right.
All right. Well,
maybe people should start ripping
there's actually a
PS3.
PlayStation controller that they're coming out, PS4 controller they're coming out with that has controls like an Xbox that I'm thinking about getting.